Om Omkaranada Brahma Ardhanarishwarah Shri Jagadgurunatha Shivabalayogi Brahmarishim Jnana Bhakti Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehi Cha Sadgurudeva Bandhava Guru Bhaktascha Swadesho Guru Charana Kamalam. Good evening to you all. Good morning to some people. Let me have a quick gallery. Looks so wonderful. I'm happy I could come back on time and be with you all. Just one more time, when you keep your eyes closed, do not forget that you have to simply watch, if possible, in between eyebrows or even front. If it is not possible, just on that point also, no problem. For a while, just do not bother. Do not become stressed out that you are unable to focus on one single point. Keep the eyeballs front, whatever comes. No darkness, no light. No good, no bad. No right, no wrong. No positive, no negative. One divine. That divine is above every duality. That's what you have to achieve to know yourself. So your mind has to get connected to that divinity. Then it has to give up all dualities, identifying all dualities. In this world, it might be good, it might be bad. But during meditation, it's not for you to bother about that. For you to bother is just keep quiet and just watch. Remember this point. Good divine children, all our love and blessings. May you be blessed by the Divine Master.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, this week the question was about Jangama Dhyana, the technique itself. It's a central pillar of Babaji's teachings. So we wanted to redress that. First, Baba, I was hoping Baba could talk about how the technique was first revealed to Swamiji, please.
At the age of 14, it was on 7th day of August in 1949, roughly about 74 years ago, I think. He was just 14-year-old and no inclination of any spirituality and no indication also for him. Simply a couple of things he used to say that somehow he was feeling that withdrawal symptoms was coming for him. He felt very detached. Like in their families, they used to eat meat also, but roughly about 15 days before, he suddenly lost interest to eat any non-vegetarian food on his own and refused to eat. He used to eat only dal, rice, all these things. So on that day also he didn't have any other indication except he was feeling some uneasiness was happening to him. He was supposed to go to the nearest town, Kakinada, and pay the hospital charges where his mother had taken his maternal grandfather for a cataract operation. So he had promised he will reach hospital very quickly and pay all the hospital charges, and after discharging them, bring them back home. But he came home, he was hungry, and he told his sister, I am hungry, can you give me some food? Sister was cooking the food still. She said, it may take another 1 hour still, I have time. So he came and sat outside, he was hungry. So one of his friends invited him to go to the canal bund. So they went. On the way, they played the small glass balls, what you call the round balls. Yeah. So he played it with his friends and he won some of them. He felt it to be a good luck, and they even had a cup of coffee in a canteen and then reached the canal bund. So all his friends immediately got into the canal bund and they were having a bath. When Swamiji noticed some 3 fruits falling down from the palmyra fruits there. Palmyra trees are in abundant in that area, and he brought them and cutting them into 12 pieces. He always used to carry a small knife and a stick also. That was the practice for him. He was a big leader always. Any trouble comes for anybody, he used to be there in the front as an infantry to ward off the trouble, to help and protect his people in the village also. Assure them not to worry, anything happening. So after giving one piece to all his friends, there were about 11 more, including him were 12 people. That's what Swamiji used to recollect. I have heard from Swamiji. He kept one piece for himself and tried to squeeze out the juice from that. That was the first time he heard a Om sound coming out of the fruit. He felt all over his body trembling. He couldn't control. And as he was watching, a dazzling light appeared around the fruit, and to his wonder, the fruit took shape of a Shivalingam. That Shivaling broke into 2 pieces and fell down on its own, and a Jangama sage appeared before him. He was 8 foot tall and aura was well built and glowing. Aura was around his face with matted hair like a sage. In that area, the Swamiji used to call such people as Jangama Deva, who were used to adorn with the Shivalingam on their neck and go around begging for alms, and they used to do a lot of sadhana. So Swamiji thought that one to be some Jangama Deva had come. So that Jangama sage made him to sit for lotus posture. He commanded him to sit down. So though usually Swamiji never listened instantly unless he was convinced. So he asked him, why should I sit down? But without resisting, he sat down, unknown to him. So Jangama sage helped him to sit in lotus posture. That was when he gave this technique by touching in between eyebrows, asked him to just watch in between these eyebrows by focusing the attention of your mind and sight, and keep the eyes closed. Do not repeat anything, he said, and do not imagine anything. So these were the words, and do not open your eyes. These were the words that Swamiji heard, and he felt that sage Jangama had patted him on his head also. And Swamiji had lost outside consciousness surrounding, and he had gone into a deep meditation. So that was how this technique was obtained by Swamiji first time. Without any other training, he had not read any other book. So this was what he gave, and as the master commanded, he just went on watching.
Thank you, Baba. And then Babaji, how did the name Jangama Dhyana come about, please?
Well, to me, Swamiji a couple of times had mentioned in Dehradun when he used to be talking, answering my questions, or on his own, sometimes philosophically, he used to tell amazing points about consciousness, mind, about self, how to silence the mind, all these points. Then suddenly one day he called, shall we call our meditation as a Jangama Dhyana? Then he said, do you know what the meaning of Jangama? Jangama means eternal existence, permanent, he said. And opposite of this is known as Thavara, which is impermanent. This world is impermanent. Only the self, the ultimate truth, is permanent. That is what is Jangama. So that's why I thought we can even call Jangama Dhyana. So that is how he explained, and he gave me this idea. So long after that, I remember Swamiji talking about Jangama Dhyana. That's when many times in my teaching I would have mentioned as Jangama Dhyana. Means meditating on the eternal existence.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, when Babaji initiates people into the technique, he gives a series of very specific instructions. Babaji's instructions are always very technical. Could Baba please give those instructions again, please, just as a group?
Just try to make them more relaxed and comfortable. Nowadays I have started telling, relaxed, remain relaxed, sitting in any comfortable posture. These instructions Swamiji used to give after the meditation was over. A long list we used to read to them. You can sit any posture, is no problem, on a chair, on the ground. So that in the beginning itself I tell, sitting in any comfortable posture, keeping your back and neck straight, gently close your eyes. So gently means remain relaxed. No need to be in a rush or agitated or abrupt. Any such thing is not needed. So you need to be gentle to yourself. That's when the mind is very infinite, you see. So it has to come quiet on its own. You cannot just take a rope or tie it. Like that, it doesn't happen. That's why I use this word, gently close your eyes. Keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight in between eyebrows and just keep watching there by focusing the attention of mind and sight. Second point, do not repeat anything. So that means do not repeat any mantra or name, nothing. Then do not imagine about anything. Sometimes I have elaborated also. If thoughts and visions appear, just watch them. Don't try to analyze, because mind has a tendency to analyze, okay, this is good, this is bad. That is how it gets involved. One thought goes, another thought is absorbed. So while making judgments like this, the mind absorbs imprints. That is what needs to be avoided. That's when today also, one more time I clarified, forget about all dualities of this world during meditation. Neither good nor bad, neither real nor unreal, neither this nor that, neither positive nor negative. Like that I went on a list, whatever came to the mind, instructed, and do not open the eyes. When we instruct, we tell, until we ask you to do so, do not open your eyes. Generally, I chant a mantra of the Guru Gita about the Guru's achievements, and then I ask people to open the eyes. So this is how I deal with the technique, giving the technique. Like Swamiji always used to tell, when I was made to sit by to lotus posture by Jangama Deva, this is what he said, touching in between eyebrows. He told, just keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight, and by focusing the attention of mind and sight, just keep watching here. Do not repeat anything, just keep quiet, and do not imagine anything, and do not open your eyes. That was all he said. And Swamiji used to say, I just went on watching and did not analyze, did not bother about anything else, what appeared, what I did not appear. So just the samadhi came like that. As simple like that he used to tell. But that is what is needed. In fact, further, Swamiji used to tell, every day when I initiate people, I give it like a command. Just like a soldier just listens to the command of the commander. In that way also, if people can understand that I am a commander, and if they want to consider me a guru and just listen to my command, they can also achieve samadhi. But the mind has become exposed and it innocently does not accept. It needs to have faith and just need to watch, understanding. This is what Swamiji used to tell.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, could we please take each one of those commands and just address each one of them separately first again, please? So Baba says initially, in a relaxed way, Sit comfortably with head and neck straight. Could Babaji just explain why that's important, please?
Because if you are in a rush, you are likely to get mentally agitated. When you are agitated, mind gets a jerk and disturbed and gets into a spinning mode, which generates thousands and millions of thoughts and visions and disturbs the mental stability. Mind needs to be stabilized. If it is relaxed, cool down is the basic point for the mind to become single pointed or just relaxed. That is how it can remain stabilized also. That is why I repeatedly tell, remain relaxed. Don't bother about the outside world. Forget the outside world. You are here just to quieten your mind, silence your mind. Remember that one. You don't need anything else just now. Anything you need to attend, you can attend afterwards. Like that, I try to assure people to prepare them to go into meditation.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, then there's the physical activity where we gently close our eyes.
Yeah. Now, after gently keeping the eyes closed, I try to watch everybody, that everybody follow the command. Otherwise, now all the people who sit here have definitely improved a lot. They have started closing the eyes. Otherwise, then they used to do something, watch here and there, steady them bodies. Before that, they should have prepared themselves coolly to relax at sitting. The moment I ask, gently close your eyes, that's it, close your eyes. No more watching here and there by opening the eyes is needed. Then I instruct, keeping the eyes closed, concentrating your mind and sight. Use your eyeballs, fix it to one place in between eyebrows and just keep watching there by focusing the attention in bracket of the mind and sight again. Second time it comes. So that's what I try to tell. This is the first technical instruction after closing the eyes, is what is needed. If one can understand, just watch in between eyebrows. For that, use the eyeballs. Eyes are one of the strongest sensory organs. If you can fix the eyeballs, even Patanjali talks, movement of eyeballs is one of the major reason for inability to the mind to go into samadhi, means becoming totally quiet and settle into itself is a very difficult, because that always gives a jerk to the mind and mind goes into spinning and it goes into imaginations. So that is why fixing the eyeballs is important. Because first instruction we tell, fix it in between eyebrows. Many people feel agitated and they try to locate when they close the eyes, where is the in between eyebrows. They keep struggling, then the eyeballs lose control and they move, because they don't come into one direction easily. They move parallelly like this, if you all have observed. So that is why you have to be gently, peacefully, slowly, just watch the front portion. That further elaborating I have tried to teach. Even if you are unable to locate the central in between eyebrows, no problem. For anything important, first do not worry. Do not bother. It's okay, no problem. Watch the front portion at least. At that time, just do not bother if anything appears. Whether it is darkness or light, just do not bother. Keep watching. Whether any thought comes or don't comes, just keep watching. Anything appears to be good or bad, just keep watching. Means here, another important point is need to understand. Mind has two aspects I have told. One is it has the thinking capacity. One is watching capacity. If you achieve the watching 100%, you stop thinking automatically unknown to you, because you become preoccupied watching. Just now, you are mentally preoccupied thinking And thus, you are watching your own thinking. You are unable to watch yourself. So that needs to be stopped. That's what we try to tell. So just keep watching in between eyebrows, front portion. Use the eyeball. Stop the eyeball. Then it can withhold the mind also there. And the mind will be there. Just like when I am talking, if all of you, if my picture is there on the screen, if all of you are watching me, totally focused, applying your mind, then you will understand what I am trying to tell. Then you try in that direction when you sit for meditation. So this is the first point.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji, often when we see drawings of devas or people with their third eye, it's drawn in the middle of the forehead here. When Babaji initiates, he touches in between the eyebrows at this point here. It's quite a different point. Could Baba please elaborate on that? It's something people sometimes ask.
It's in between eyebrows on the same level of eyeball that Swamiji used to initiate, he used to talk about. So you don't have to lift the eyeballs. So many other teachers quite plausibly talking about the third eye, they would ask to uplift the eyeballs. Many people have complained to me that that's very difficult for them. I have told them no need to lift your eyeballs very strongly. Just gently be on the same level. What teachers have observed as the third eye symbolically is nothing but the mind. Opening of the third eye is mind needs to be cleansed or become quiet. Then that is blossomed. Then that opens to itself. Then it becomes aware of itself. Otherwise, just now mind is preoccupied with its own thoughts and visions, with its own imaginations, as I have been telling. So that is why this is said that on the same level you just watch in between eyebrows. In between this, because these eyebrows comes here down like this in the arrow. So here you just watch it. That is what is important.
Thank you, Baba. Then Babaji, next the instruction is, do not repeat any mantra or name. Do not imagine anything.
Yeah, these two things are also very important. Here, you don't need a mantra because this is one of the highest methods practiced since very, very ancient time in India. And the same technique was given to my Guru Shivabalayogi by the appearance of the Jangama sage. So he passed it on to us. So we initiate into this technique only. That is one important thing. Other points which I have told. See, when you need to go for a self-realization or a mind control totally, mind has to become totally silent. Now, if this is the divinity ultimate truth, mind, a small portion of consciousness has become mind. When thoughts and visions are there, we call the same consciousness as mind. If it becomes quiet, giving up thoughts and visions, it starts regaining pure consciousness form. As it becomes quiet, it starts going towards its origin, the ultimate truth, the divinity recognized. If it is into imaginations, it goes away from the truth of its origin. Then it becomes extroverted. So that is why mantra is used to make the mind single-pointed. Many times people have asked, which mantra is more powerful? Anything that appeals to you can be powerful. The power is in the mind when it becomes concentrated. People have taken the name of Rama, name of Krishna, name of Jesus, or name of Devi, Mother Goddess, anything. And they have achieved the truth sometimes. Krishna also, Rama also, like that. Any name, any mantra. Generally, if a person is chanting a mantra, it is likely that that particular guru tell Kiwai, this is the most powerful mantra. Just to impress upon, so that people feel inspired. So we tell any mantra that appeals to you, Before meditation or after meditation, you want to chant, is no problem. But what is needed is you have to apply your mind. Mind needs to be concentrated. However, in meditation, it is not needed. I have also told jokingly, this silent meditation is like you are getting recruited as an officer directly. You don't have to join as a clerical post and then get promoted eventually. When the mind becomes quiet, it starts coming and then easily it goes introverted. It will not stop anywhere, because if it is silent, it goes towards the self only. When totally mind becomes quiet, its attention turns to itself. That's when you become aware of yourself as that immortal soul, that eternal entity. One day that is possible. Before that also, when the mind is becoming quiet and quiet, it comes under your control. After that, if you want to think, you can think. If you don't want to think, you can keep it quiet also. Just like having a car. You want to drive around, you drive around. When you don't need it, you apply the brake and bring it to a halt and keep in the garage. Like that, the folder is closed. When you want to open the folder, you open the folder. Everything is available. Brain has stored all memories. So that is why, so there is really no need of chanting any mantra, because the divinity is in silence. I have also told, when the mind becomes silent, that is the real worship of God. Because when it becomes silent, it goes towards its origin, the divinity, God only. It has no third way, I have told. Mind has no third way. Either it is into its own imaginations, in this world it remains, or it becomes quiet and goes to God. Only two ways it has to be. So your job is to make the mind quiet and then see the wonder. It will go to itself. You will become aware of yourself. Also, examples I have told, when you are watching a movie, your mind gets sucked into the movie. Everything in the movie appears so truthful and realistic. So that movie can generate emotions in you, a fear, a panic, a stress, a happiness, excitement, all these things it can generate, because your mind is sucked into the movie. And you watch yourself also as a role in the movie. Everything appears so real. If somebody comes and wakes you up, come on, you are just watching a movie, you are sitting, nothing is happening to you. You are perfectly all right. That's what we are trying to teach. You are that soul, eternal, immortal existence, much more beyond the birth and death of the physical body. You can become aware of that in your consciousness. If you practice this meditation, that is what is known as self-realization or Atma Sakshatkar. This is what Swamiji also used to tell. So these are some of the basic points.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji gives always such a clear technical explanation for everything. Swamiji used to ask people to meditate. His instruction was to meditate for 1 hour. Is there a technical reason for that, please, Baba?
See, Swamiji, when he was instructed by the Jangama sage, innocently he just went on watching. He expected everybody to be innocent. So when he initiated, he thought everybody, if they just watch it, and it will come to them. That's when he used to tell, instead of talking here and there and go and round and round and round, just sit and meditate. You will know that one. Because the truth is actually such an inexplicable, amazing, awesome wonder. Whatever you would have heard, read in books and imagined about the ultimate truth called God, you will find it totally different. For that only Swamiji used to emphasize, do sadhana and you will know what the truth of yourself is. Then you tell me what do you need and what you don't need. Do not succumb to the religious beliefs and prejudices that many teachers have given unnecessarily, he used to say. Just be a free man, a matured personality. You will be a much better human being when you do this, he used to tell.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, are there signs of progress in meditation? People sometimes describe very elaborate visions or experiences. Are there any signs of progress in meditation?
Coming good visions are welcome. One should use it to focus the mind, keep the mind focused on that, but without bothering what it is recommended. Because once you get involved with that, that is a thought that has been generated into a vision. It has taken shape. So then further you get involved with your own thought, considering that thought or a vision to be a real. And then you start analyzing. You get talking to that your own imagined thing. So your mind gets distracted. It is unable to keep quiet. It starts talking. When it starts talking, one thought disappears, another thought is absorbed again. Hen out of the egg, egg out of the hen. You need to stop the process. One needs to be withdrawn. Do not allow the egg to go into the process of giving out hen from it. Then that process stops. So that's what is here. Meditation is what is trying that to stop this process of giving rise to any further thoughts. Do not analyze. Do not bother whether it is good or bad. Do not think about any thought at all. Then that thought disappears. That's what happens. You just keep watching. Then your mind becomes quiet and silent. So that is the idea of asking you not to bother about the thought or a vision, no matter how beautiful the thought would be. Because that's what my guru, whenever he used to appear during my tapas, suddenly one day I noticed he used to talk about many things, and also as a statutory warning, no matter whatever it is, whoever it is, do not react. This also he used to warn and then disappear. And I thought, this has definitely very meaningful instruction that Swamiji is giving. Whoever it is, whatever it is, do not react. I just have to watch. And one time he said, whether they want to kill you or they want to tempt you, they want to threaten you, do not react. Just be composed, at peace. So these things penetrated my consciousness and I picked up and did not react. And that's how we overcame all experiences during tapas. We just watched. It appeared and disappeared. Then my consciousness, the pure consciousness, realized this was there because of my own resolutions, my own imagination. Many times it appeared to be very beneficial. It was simply beneficial, good. We kept quiet. So that's how we didn't want anything. Just wanted that quietness to merge with the self. That was how we progressed. This is the important for everybody to understand. If your aim is self-realization, if your aim is supreme peace, if your aim is that you want to control your mind and you be the master, all these things are possible when mind becomes more silent. And then one day you will gain that ability. If at all, when you need to live in the world, you will have the mind. You will be able to analyze and make judgments, but you will not make it a habit. You will not become habitual. After making a judgment, after making a plan, you will become quiet. That job is done, and then you become quiet. You take a pen, write whatever you want to write. Once the writing is over, you close the pen and keep it aside. You don't have to be doing all the time like this. No need. So that is all one needs to understand in meditation also. Then the mind is quiet. When you want to think, you think. When you don't need to think, you are able to keep quiet. When you practice this meditation regularly, that is the worldly benefit. And as you go further progressively, keeping quiet and quiet, one day you can achieve samadhi, and that self-realization will come, how you exist as the eternal soul, what is known as the Atman, beyond the birth and death of the physical body.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, people sometimes express that they're finding the meditation difficult, but Babaji assures us it's easy. What are we doing wrong if we're finding it difficult?
First thing, to think that it is difficult is wrong. You just think, I will do it. How come it won't come? So it will happen. I can make my mind quiet. Simply it was my mistake. I allowed it to go out of control and become habitual in thinking all the time. And draw inspiration from the Master. Be connected to the Master. Then the Master will always inspire. Listen to the words of Master. That will always be magical. That will be mesmerizing. If you apply your mind and concentrate, then you will feel inspired and you will do that one. For that only, I have told the mantras of dedication, discipline and patience. Dedication means you have to dedicate yourself. Set a priority. I need it. When you realize you have a time bomb under your chair, what do you need? You need to save yourself. Nothing else comes as a priority. That is the priority you need to save. Everything else can happen afterwards. Once you are alive, then you can look into other matters. So like that here, first you need to realize yourself. Then you will see a wonderful life of yours on this earth. You can be supremely peaceful, stress-free at all times. Everything is simply acceptable. At all times you are happy. Nothing can make you worry at all like that. So that is what is needed. Dedication, discipline. Without fail, practice every day. You must become restless if you are unable to practice. I try my best to come on to the online when there are serious meditators waiting for me. They are interested in me to come and teach them. So I take all the pain, whatever is possible. Let us travel, let us reach the place. We need to do the Zoom today. Unless it's absolutely impossible, any other very important activity of the trust or the institution of my Guru, I have to be attending. So we try to do this every time. I don't have any other engagement. I don't have any other entertainment for me. This is the best. So that is what is discipline. We remained disciplined for 20 years at the lotus feet of my Master. In those days, I never went out during the evening times to the market or any whatever marketing was needed. We did it in the daytime. Every day 1 hour meditation and 1 to 1.5 hour bhajan singing. Whether anybody was there in the hall or I was alone or just one more boy with me, used to play the dolak and then sing. Sing for sake of my Guru, not for public, not for my show, not for anything else. So that became a beautiful sadhana for me to keep the mind under control and single pointed always. So 1 hour playing, that became like a sadhana practice always. We became more and more disciplined. That discipline gave me such an easy thing to meditate for 6 to 7 hours and eventually 5 years of another strict discipline, one place sitting and meditating. That became the tapas. That gave the self-realization. Made me a yogi. Today the world honors. All this because of the dedication and discipline. I dedicated my life. This is what I wanted. So I am ready to do it. So then patience. Patience never exercised any ego. Anybody humiliated, the Guru tested, anybody criticized, anybody told me you are very wrong, you should have done like this, you should have got married, you should have looked after your mother, you should have gone home, you should have done this, you could have also washed utensils and earned some money, you are doing the same thing in the ashram. Anybody criticized anything, we just kept quiet. Kept quiet means not only through the mouth, in the mind also. Didn't worry, didn't bother. I knew what I was doing. I'm doing the right thing. I need this. I knew I need this. Let the whole world stand aside and criticize, no problem. One day they will all see and they will salute. So that patience, so that never gave me any arrogance or ego. We just kept quiet, it's okay, no problem. We will learn it. So that patience is needed. Those who can exercise patience to that extent, they will have the self-realization. But that is needed. That is the most difficult for human being. One can practice wherever possible.
Thank you, Baba. Baba, there may be people who'd like to ask Baba questions. Would we have time for that? If we...
Yeah, we can take 10 to 15 minutes.
Thank you, Baba. We've had one question sent in already, Baba. If I could read that out, please.
Yes, yes.
The question's from Bharati, and it says, Babaji says, by meditating, when you are able to stop your mind, all karmas end to liberate you. She says, during meditation, I'm able to stop the mind from thinking for a few minutes only, but then thoughts come up. Could Babaji please give some guidance?
You need to say, if you are sitting for 1 hour, you need to achieve for all the 1 hour, the mind is quiet. That practice you have to do. That happens when you do not analyze about the thought. If thoughts are coming, don't keep thinking that thoughts are coming. Let them come, it will go away. You just do not think. You keep quiet. Karmas go away. Many people misunderstand. In this world, every time it happens according to my wishes and I will be comfortable. That is not the karma. That itself is another karma which will bind you to the world. It will not allow you to go towards God. Everything will happen. This world will go on. The body will aim to with whomever we are connected. The troubles will be there, but our mind will learn to accept and become quiet, at peace. It will remain at peace. Otherwise, you see, all of you think what is good and what is bad. What do you want the God to do? If that choice is given, every one person will be shouting at God and God will go mad. One will tell, I want you to sit down, God. Another will tell, God, please keep standing, don't sit down. And one will tell, God, make me poor. Another tell, God, no, make me rich. So like this, whom? If at all God gives that one, again they will come back with another wanting. Oh God, this is enough of being rich. Now I want to see by becoming a poor. You only asked you want to be rich and now you want to be poor. You only asked you wanted to be poor and you want to be rich. Like this world has never ending queries or the wantings and the wishes. So that is not the karma. When we absorb in our mind something as a bad, something as a wrong, if we had done something for our selfishness, if we had become habitual, that will have a say on our consciousness and will trouble with a guilty feeling. That will be wiped out when you practice meditation. Nothing will be there. You won't feel anything. The world will be going, it will be morning, it will be evening, it will be hot, it will be cold. But you won't feel anything, it's okay. Mentally it's acceptable. That is how the karmas will be wiped out means. But you have to practice to achieve all the 1 hour, your ability to remain quiet. That's what you are practicing when you have to simply watch at the thoughts and visions coming. Understand again, when thoughts and visions are coming, your ability to keep quiet. When the master scolds you, your ability to keep quiet mentally. Years ago that helped me. When the master was scolding, mentally to keep quiet. So then we enjoyed every scolding of his. When others humiliated also, then we learned to keep quiet. Let this service reach the lotus feet of my master. If this was to happen that this person was to humiliate me, It's okay, no problem. Today he has the power and he is humiliating. It's no problem. We kept quiet. And then mind was at peace. There was no agitation at all. So this is a very difficult, I understand, for every human being. Not as easy, but when I adopted, it came easy. At the lotus feet of the Master, that's how we survived. We lived with God. For 20 years when our Master was there, when we lived with him, it was like we lived at the lotus feet of God. Not that always he was kissing on my forehead. He was hissing also. But all that gave such my own. Oh, my God thinks me that I am his own. That type of humility. Anybody who can adopt, they will win. This is the law of the divinity.
Okay, pranams, Baba. So I had kind of like a two-part question about the meditation and tapas. And the first part is, how does our technique seemingly enable, I guess, the mind or the brain to disconnect from the body, to disconnect its signals from the body? Like if we're deep in meditation, we may not hear what's going on outside or around us. And at some point, even the light and darkness that we see just kind of goes away for a few minutes, for me at least. Or someone may not be able to feel if somebody's, tapping them on the shoulder or something. How does the brain disconnect itself from the body that way?
That is the power of concentration. All of you sitting here, just think, just with a simple cell phone in your hand, and when you become absorbed talking to some of your friend on the cell phone, you don't notice who is sitting next to you, who is sitting in front of you, whether God has come, whether the Master is sitting there, whether somebody is talking to you. You can become so much absorbed. That is the power of concentration. So that type of concentration, when comes to you in your mind, that automatically gets detached from the brain. It won't notice anything. Practice, it will come one day. We will pray for you.
Makes perfect sense. Yes. One other point was, I've read that great yogis like Tapasvi Maharaj and Swamiji undertook a kayakalpa tapas or sadhana to regenerate the body. Could you just touch very briefly on what that is?
Tapasviji Maharaj, known as Vishnu Dhama, who came to Swamiji during his early years of tapas, he had learnt this from a saint in the jungles of Assam forest, that with certain medicines that were to be extracted during seasonal times at a particular place, within this time of period, one had to take a lot of strict silence and remaining in the darkness, no water, such things needed to be absorbed. As we know, we have read, Tapasviji Maharaj was one person who was totally successful. It is said that he was born in 1780 and lived up to 1955, nearly 183 years or more. Thrice he did this kayakalpa for about 45 days, remaining like that, and he got his organs and everything rejuvenated. So that's what is known as kayakalpa. Hardly anybody would know that perfect science today. Though many people might claim of kayakalpa, to certain extent only that might be helpful, not to that extent of living so long.
Yes, it's been lost. Okay, thank you, Baba. That's very interesting.
Pranams, Babaji. Albert Einstein was supposed to have famously said, "All I want to do is be able to think like God, and rest is details." What you have stated is God doesn't have any resolution, or he does not think. Like the sunlight, it does not discriminate, it gives light to all. So what we generally imagine is God is a personality who can think, but in reality...
That's what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told. A salt doll wanted to know whether the ocean thinks or not. It jumped into the ocean trying to know. It became one with the ocean and it also stopped thinking. So this is what happens when the individual consciousness wants to know what the space is. It has to become space. When it becomes space, it becomes silent. Means space means, I'm just giving an example for you all to easily understand. Space appears to be nothing, but that space is the supreme consciousness. That's why the divine is, I avoid using God so that I don't want to give you a picture of a human type of personality. The divinity is supreme consciousness, just like your own mind is infinite. It is not a person. There is no picture. You cannot locate. You haven't seen in your naked eyes. Yet you recognize because of thoughts and visions. When it is thinking, it comes away from that divinity and becomes an ordinary human being, an animal, any such thing. When it is not thinking, it is the divine. The divine is in Mahasamadhi. So when you try to think like God, you will become totally quiet. You will stop thinking. Einstein was right to think like that. Let me think like God. So he would have become quiet, and he became quiet actually. He had no answer.
Beautiful, Babaji. Thanks.
Ram Babaji. Nick and another that kind of preceded my question. So I anticipate the answer, but I will say this. Close to your instructions in the technique today of meditation, which I thank you. I have also experienced in breath work, sitting comfortably, not thinking, just concentrating on the breath, that an experience comes that I don't experience in meditation. Understanding you'd anticipate that's illusion. Is it also possible it's another way to sustain our practice of meditation? I'll say it that way. Or if you could just touch on how important the breath
Definitely.
is.
Even in my talks on instructing meditation, I have told, before going to meditation, you can practice some breathing exercises like pranayama. And while doing so, concentrate on the breath. That helps to bring down the restlessness of the mind. Whenever your mind is restless, take a long inhale and exhale of the breath. So that will be very, very helpful. But you will depend on a breath, an external entity other than you yourself. Whereas the meditation is the silent one we are teaching, you will simply be within yourself. You don't depend on any external anchor. However, for some time you can take the help of breathing. It's no problem.
Namaskar, Babaji. I just want to say thank you for praying for us and hosting these sessions with Bruce, Sen, and Simon. I was just wondering, how can we pay you all back other than by like practicing meditation for an hour daily? What's the best way to thank you?
This is one thing, by practicing meditation seriously. Never give up this path. If you believe that I am a genuine yogi, be with me to feel inspired. Come regularly for these classes, feel inspired and follow my instructions seriously. Then one day you will be able to achieve that peace to yourself. Never look back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Babaji.
Hello, Babaji. A question about the technique. Sometimes when I'm doing the focusing, my body wants to do some swaying. It starts to automatically sway. Should I stop that or just let my body sway?
You need to stop that. Take care that your breath is going on smoothly, the inhale and exhale. If not very vigorously, at least slowly and smoothly. If that tries to stop, this happens, the swinging of the body can happen. So you need to stop this one and take care that the breathing goes on continuously and try to concentrate in between eyebrows. You will be able to achieve that.
Thank you.
So my blessings. So it looks all the questions are over for today. It's been a wonderful time for all of us. I appreciate deeply. Some very lovely questions came up. It's inspiring for me to see all of you so seriously meditating 1 hour. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the Master Shiva Balayogi. You will all be blessed. I will always pray for them.